So when you're looking at a house, you want to know if it has good bones, or you do your inspection. Bathrooms are always a point I'm going to key in on. The reason for it is you can kind of get a look at almost every system of the house in the bathroom. Electrical, plumbing, heating. You can get an idea of structural. The moisture and the amount of water used in the house is going to be more in the bathroom than anywhere else. In fact, the standard shower sees, I believe, about 100 times more rainfall in the shower than your roof sees outside in a year in the Northeast. Wow. So huge amounts of water being used in here. So the potential for microbial growth, things like that, damage. The bathroom is the place to look at everything. We also get a look at the electrical, see if it's up to modern standards or not, things like that. Structural, a lot of times bathrooms are tiled floors. Masonry does not handle any sort of movement, so if the tile in the bathroom's popped or anything, and it could be installation issue, but it also could be the floor has moved. So let's take a look at this bathroom, and also we're going to run the water and use everything in there. And then when we get down to the basement, we're going to look to see if there's any leaks. Because if you're a normal person, you take a shower and you get ready and you leave for work. Weird people like the inspectors are going to run the shower, flush the toilet, use the sink, and then run down in the basement and look for leaks. That's not something normally somebody's going to do. So you may have a leak going on that a normal homeowner wouldn't realize. A building to see if things have moved. When we're, from outside, you're looking at the roof lines and you're looking at the exterior walls and you're looking at the load-bearing walls. This particular house is square, so all 4 walls are load-bearing. If you're looking at a ranch, it's the 2 walls under the soffits. The gable walls are there for racking, but they're not technically as much for load-bearing. I'm sure the keyboard engineers can correct me on all that, but from an inspection standpoint, that's how I'm thinking about it. When we come inside, looking at the doors and windows, see if they're racked, see if the trim is popped anywhere. We know we can look at this and know for fairly certain if this isn't original, it's really old. It's been here for a long time. Old hinges, old solid wood door, old hardware on the handle. When we close it, closes nice and even. When we look inside, we'll be able to see if it's square or not, but we see the trim is not popped or crooked or anything like that. So this hasn't moved any or much. 200-year-old house movement is not unusual. Just a matter of how much and if it's current or not. Now compare that if you can. You look at this door in here, the trim looks good, but the door is a little wonky. But this is a closet door on a build out. I wouldn't, in my mind from what I'm seeing here, this doesn't look structural to me. This looks like a 200-year-old door that has sagged. Yeah, look at that. The hinges are tired. So we're not going to jump to conclusions that the structure's moved because the door is crooked. The door is sagging. If I lift it up, it straightens out pretty good and the trim is not popped. So that's looking good. I run hot and cold for a minute, just looking for pressure and to make sure we do have cold supply and we do have hot supply. Just gonna look under here quick, see what we got. I see we got PVC drains and copper lines. That's looking good. Leave that running for a minute. We got a GFCI outlet. That tells me the electrical is most likely updated in here. You're not going to walk around looking at houses with a tester, but what I'm looking at is just because it has a GFCI doesn't mean it's wired correctly. If I put my tester in there, it's telling me it's wired correctly and that it has modern wiring to it, and when I test it, it kicks the GFCI, so that is good. That's just telling me more about the house. Come over here to the toilet. There's common things with toilet. This is every home inspector is going to do this when they walk up to a toilet. They're going to bump it somehow with their leg, see if it wiggles. This one's nice and tight. Flush is good. That's a couple gallons of water going through that drain, so if there is any sort of leaking, that's going to help manifest it when you go in the basement. If it is loose, it can leak underneath the finished floor into the subfloor and cause a lot of damage. And you'll see it from the basement and get a lot of mold, fungus, mushrooms, and contamination going on down there. So a loose toilet is something you want to address. But it is if you get a wax ring, they're about $3. You lift the toilet up, put the new ring on, put it back on. There's a million YouTube videos how to do it. Take a novice maybe 20 minutes. And then after you've done your first one, you can do the next one in 5 minutes. If you want to get a Teflon ring, they're a little bit more money. They're easier to install and they're much better quality. Now, a caveat with that is if it wiggles a little bit, Teflon rings do expand and contract. And if there's any little imperfections in the floor, the toilet may rock a little bit. If it has a Teflon ring, it's still not going to leak. So don't run with your hair on fire because the toilet's moving a little bit. Get in the basement, see if it's actually leaking. If it's a wax ring, as soon as it gets compressed, it's not going to come back. It's probably going to leak. Then we run the shower. This is where the most amount of water is used in the bathroom. Like I said, more water falls in here than on the roof of the house. Hot, steamy shower without proper ventilation. High probability to be building up steam in here and then creating mold. So we're looking at right around the ceilings. Mold loves sheetrock. So anywhere where there's the tape joints of the sheetrock that might not be as well coated or taped or painted, a little bit more exposed, that's where the microbial growth is going to get its toehold and start to grow. So I'm not leaving the water running or flushing a lot so that we just because of the noise, but typically when I see a bathroom or we go in the kitchen, I immediately turn the water on. And I'll do my inspection of the area and I'll leave it running while I go and do a few other rooms, but I'm listening to it, make sure it doesn't overflow or anything like that, and I come back. So usually about 10 minutes of the water running in each room that has water that's available. And just for an idea of what to look for microbial growth, if we see any more, we'll talk about it. But see that little speckling down there? That's a combination of bacteria, possibly mold, skin, hair, all that sort of stuff that's on the shower curtain and just giving it something to grow on. So, and it has very distinct patterns, so you're able to pick up on it pretty quick once you know what to look for.